And we need light. You're all right, guys? I hope everyone's well. Just do a bit of looking in chats. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. And we need light. That's me talking back at you. Hello, Irene. How you doing? I hope you're well. Yeah, I hope you're feeling better, actually, Irene. I know you can make some good food. That always helps. It always helps me when I'm feeling a bit. Thomas, how you doing? Irene's a good. Oh, you're still sick? Sorry to hear that. So yeah, I hope Irene, wish you well. We get better soon. Thomas West is on. Thomas is in a lot of groups. He helps out a lot in Raven group as well, and Para Unity group. Really good. That's our Phil. All right, Phil, how you doing? So, guys, just you won't believe it, actually. Amount of things that I think there's been a few hiccups on Facebook recently. Not being able to do quite a few things. We had to mess about just to get the live working. So I hope everyone's well. All having a good weekend. I'm in what's been called the monster room. It's a spare room with all paranormal stuff in. And we've been quite active over the weekend. Over the last week and a bit actually. We've been out. And we've had some interesting results as well. And some videos are going to be making. There's been a delay, but all for good reason. And it's all coming together, which I feel he'll agree with. He's been very busy, so come on for that. So yeah, this weekend today we've had a studio running for quite a while, for let's say a year. So we've had a studio running. But it didn't have an internet connection. Well, it didn't have an internet connection. We did this Wi-Fi, transmitting repeater business. You can't beat hardwired in end. So we've run a cable. We've got the cable to the studio. So sometime next week, in the next few days, we'll be doing a live from studio. We have internet all connected up and working, and we're going to be live more often, and we'll be looking into things in depth. We're going to repeat the things that we look at as well. So, for instance, we've got the Book of Adam. Book of Adam? Gospel. It's a book what Adam from Hidden Realm Paranormal let us use for a while. We've still got that in the studio. It's been isolated. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Leslie. Leslie from Team Spirit Paranormal. Can't wait to meet up with you all. Me and Arthur. Dawn. Hiya, Dawn. Dawn, another great friend. Brilliant. Helping teams out in the Unity group and Raven group. Founder at Raven group. Hiya, Mandy Bell. It's great seeing you on. I hope everyone's well. Hiya, Julie. So yeah, the book, what we had with Adam, we noticed over a few weeks, we looked at it once, got results. Some straight, like coincidence, maybe. We've looked at it a few times over weeks, and we've now got a video of a collection of things that have happened around that book. Adam's witnessed it, me and my brother has, Leslie has, and it's activity in that studio. It's actually happened in Phil's house and my house as well. So it's all interesting. It's something to keep an eye on. See where that leads. But what we thought is, what if, when you look at something once, it's not enough? I mean, if you've got an opinion on this, your thoughts on this, put it in the comments, and we'll definitely love to talk about that. I mean, what do you think? I personally do believe you should repeat looking at something, build a case over it, just monitor it. And the more you do, put the more energy that way, does it reflect back? If something's in there and it's been there a while and it's not active, what happens if you do it a few times? It kind of re-energizes it. I don't know. That's my thought. If you've got any particular thoughts on that, let us know. Hiya, Katie. How you doing? It's great to see you on. Good friend, Katie. So yeah, we're going to be Rich Studio linked up to internet. We should hopefully do better lives, and we'll look at items more in depth. We'll repeat those as well, different times at week as well, because we do still want to try that where you do things on different days in different hours, because there's a train of thought, especially in a few like instances where each hour, each day, week and month and year has different energies. Like Wednesday is best for communication. I believe it's linked to Mercury. Not definite without really looking at that, but I believe it's Mercury and communication. And so, seeing as we want to communicate, Wednesday would be probably a good shout. I do believe 7 o'clock at night is then Mercury as well. So, if you want to communicate a Wednesday, 7 o'clock at night, I believe that's one of those sweet points kind of thing. If you want to look at it that way. So, subconscious level, waves, stars, images that we see every day. Yeah, Katie, yeah, you're right. I mean, the whole of our reality, it's in the mind. We're not in control of what we see, and we all see different. We all remember things differently. We recall things differently. So when you try and get witness, like witness statements, there's a time frame for accuracy, because we're not perfect. We're human, and we remember things very differently. So yes, definitely. An angry face. I hope you're all right. So yeah, studio linked up. Do those things more often, and it should be good. We're also going to do as live investigations. We have done a couple recently, but both that we went to, there were no reception. If you're going to investigate, you should always reinvestigate. Thanks, Dawn. Yes, I do agree. Instead of probably in past we've done, everyone does it. You try and go to loads of different locations, and it's great. It's really interesting. You pick up different history. You investigate different places. But yeah, what if you should spend a bit of time, concentrate on a few, and see what builds. It helps show more of it in depth. You can also pick up on residual activity. Yeah, definitely, Don. I mean, what can if you go one day, you're investigating at 11 at night, and what's supposed to happen happens at 9, and you've just missed it. Then next time you go back, just go back and start a different tower, I suppose. I mean, we're thinking of doing that. Yes, Leslie, you're welcome anytime. We've even sorted out 2 meter issue. Or is it 1.5 now? I'm confused. I think the whole country's been confused during all of this lockdown, but we won't get into that because rules have never been clear. So, but either way, Leslie, welcome anytime. We've got it all in hand. So yeah, we went out. Phil's just reminded me. So we went out to the pottery kiln that's local to us. We got some interesting information there. But recently, we've got an app. It's being built by Brian Holloway, and we've nipped out with that, and we've been testing that out. And just as we're doing this live, I went, "We're going to show you app Ace," and I'm still going to do it, but I did this not thinking I'm using a forward-facing webcam on a laptop. So I will have to set it up just when I swing round to look at the app. I mean, really, what were I thinking? But anyway, I've lent everything up, got it all sorted out. So we've been out with the app. It's a Red Rejects team app, and we met Denton from Ghost Encounters Worldwide. That were a good visit. We went to Sheffield POW camp, and we've been there a couple of times in past, and each time equipment's been affected. But this time, it was Denton's mobile phone. It went funny. I took a picture at screen. It just went funny. Now that's one thing, and you could say coincidence, equipment going funny. Fair enough. But we were running app, and as we were running that app, German came out, which I've run it since, and German ain't been coming out, and it said something in German. We looked it up, and then it said something in French, and I'm like, right, what's French connection? Sheffield, German and Italian prisoners of war, and it said 2. So while our Phil carried on recording, me and Denton, I went on internet, typed it in, and it came with Massacre in Le Paradise. I'm writing it up, and we didn't know nothing about this. And I'm like, what's this got to do with anything? And then Denton said, oh, 2 survivors. Anyway, what happened is there were 99 British troops. They were retreating from an area. You never run away; you just retreat. It's tactical. They were retreating from an area, and then they sadly got ambushed by German soldiers. Out of the 99, they were lent up against a wall, and only 2 survived wounded. And the guy that ran that basically signed off on that massacre, he was found, I believe, by an American in the Sheffield prisoner of war camp. There is no way, Ayakaz Kelly, there is no way we would have found that history if it weren't. So even if you say fair enough, the apps, does it prove the spirit? And I can see why it's hard, but we've witnessed so much, like coincidental, you could call it, happenings using ITC apps, that it's beyond. I don't know. I can't call it coincidence because it's led to too many different things. So when we used it at that prisoner of war camp, we got that information. We ended up looking up and finding a fresh piece of history we would not have found any other way. Because I just wouldn't have looked it up. So it linked up with French, that massacre. I mean, an absolute atrocity. That 97 soldiers. It was a war crime as well. I mean, terrible. And then 2 survivors, and the app GID gave just the right amount of information to type it in and get that block of history connecting straight to that camp. It was amazing, and Denton, he was there. He actually pointed we pointed off out each. It was unbelievable. Phil, you can. Phil, you were there. You can. You can bear witness to that as well. Hi, Kaz. I hope you're well. So we're gonna have a look at the app. So when I'm gonna twist this round, have a look at the app. Show it. We just want to look at just want to go through how we're using it. So there's 2 banks, Brian Holloway and Samantha Rumble. Great job with their apps. I've used Paranormal Hauntings one. I use the Project Paranormal one. They've got a 1 and a 2 out. I believe they're on 3rd one actually. So we've always used these apps, and we had a few ideas, and Brian and Samantha's we're grateful that they made this one for us. So there's two banks on there. One's got the sound of running water. Now, if for those that haven't seen Red Rejects stuff, we do a lot of water scrying. So we were thinking we're going to run that while water scrying. You know, build up a bit of energy. If it does help, you know, it's there. Running water, get that energy built up, and then run ITC straight after it. We also work a lot on ley lines. Now, there's a bank in there, and it's like a meditative like chant, and it's based around the red chakra. And that chant, it's supposed to be to connect to earth energy, ley line energy, that kind of thing. So yeah, no problem, Dawn. Signals, technology, it's one of them things, isn't it? That. But yeah, thanks a lot, Dawn. And so yeah, so we've got a bank for ley line connecting to earth energy, ley line energy. We've got a water bank for running water to help build up that energy as well. We've got the ITC as well, what runs. We've also got a camera. I've had a few people ask, you know, why that camera. Now, a lot of times when we're live, nothing wrong with that, Mandy. You can order me one as well. I'll have a pizza. A lot of times when we do a live, to get the sound from a phone or a tablet, you put the camera up to phone, and then you can't really see much surrounding area. So we've got a camera window in the app, so you can have your camera up to the phone and still see around. And we've got a rig built to hold it all in one. And also, we can show what we're concentrating on. So if we're looking at a statue or an object like a book or a suspected haunted item, we can focus the app on that item, run the ITC, and it's kind of like saying, right, that's what we were doing. That's what we were looking at. Hello, Irene Wells. How are you doing? So yeah, I'll show you that now. The item that we're looking at is a book on Faust. It's the play Faust, where a guy, it's an old play. I like it, and then someone said this one it's got an attachment. I'm not too sure, but I like the book anyway. It's a guy what sells his soul for all the information and knowledge in universe, with a thought that right at end he can repent and be free from torture. If you don't know how that ends, then well, it don't end well. But if you want the best details, it does. It's really good. So you can check that one out. But I do like Faust. Right, I'm going to try and attempt. I've got this groovy pink case. What can I say? I've borrowed it. Samantha's live. I'm just looking at the app actually. So this is the app. It's got the. I'm going to do it at a tilt because I'm using what I'm using. You get a shine off the screen for now, but it's no problem. It's just for now. So as you can see there, the app we've got his team logo there. Just turn camera off. Right. So here we go. That's his app. That there is the camera. And then we asked if we could make it bigger. So what we'd do is we'd use a small camera screen for like objects, things like that, when you're static. But then we've got it so we can make the window larger. So when we tested it out, we went to Skidbrook Church. Some of the results there were amazing. All right, thank you, Mandy. Yeah. It's been in test. This, yes. At Skidbrook, it came out with some amazing responses. It was shouting, it was calling out my brother's name, Philip, quite a few times as well. We're still going to go through that to try and get. It's good to know what's trying to set, and if there's a message there, it's always good to make sure you get it, so you don't want it lingering. So yeah, those buttons there turn the screen size up and down like that, and then these here are the ambient banks. So guys, that what you can hear there is the chant. It's based around, I believe, is it 256 hertz? And it's like the chakra, base chakra, red chakra, connecting to Earth. So ley line. We're using that mostly for calming, connection, clearing, and then run ITC. Yes, guys. Do you know what? Pink might just be my new favourite colour. I might roll with this, you know. I was thinking again a black one. I might just leave it. Just leave it. That's water. Now that water bank there for the water effect. That is for the water screen, but at the same time, water, it's one of the most powerful things on this planet. Nearly everything needs it that's alive. Let me know if there's something what doesn't need water or can survive without it. There might be one thing somewhere, I don't know, but mostly everyone needs water, and it's very powerful. It's it's in everything. It's a universal thing. And some say it's a massive conduit as well between worlds and dimensions and spirit. PJ Wills, sorry, Willis. Sorry, man. Got German propaganda scene. Right, PJ Wills. Very good, that in the comment from PJ Wills. Yeah, so it's always good to look at the comments. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, PJ. It's amazing. So yeah, water. It's on there as one of the banks. Okay, so they're the two banks there. This red switch here, that turns the camera on and off. And this one here. Sleep. That's really interesting because where I'm sat is where I sleep sometimes. Lovely. Right. Just going to turn that off. I'm going to set it up with the item in the view of the camera. Yeah, so where I'm sat doing this live, sometimes it becomes a makeshift bed. So I seem to wake up at silly times at night. So I don't disturb anyone. Spare monster room, I end up sleeping in. Probably not a great idea if there's a lot of attachments in here, let's put it that way. So I'm just going to set this up. Set up. Did well this time. Alright, guys. This here, what I'm pointing at. So you can see this through app. So via camera, I'll go through, show you this app. The sound will be going straight to the camera, but you'll still be able to see the items in background. Now, we're doing this because it also documents what we were looking at the time. And we're going to run ITC and see what we get. Right, I've just heard the word silver, and then I heard Philip. Yes, and then it just said we met. Okay, well, that just sounded like Lucifer. Right. Are you making connections to the book? That sounded like the book, yes. Someone asked yes, no. This is a yes, no answer to this question. Silly. Are you aware of this book and the story of Dr. Faust? Can you tell me where this book was printed? It's actually wrote here. Yes, I've heard listen as well. Right, you're saying listen. What do you want me to listen to? Money, music, it's yours. Right, I just want to check something in the book. Right, guys, well, I didn't know this. When it said music, I've just opened it up on the first page. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this was stamped in a music warehouse. "35 Church Street, Liverpool." It was printed by a company from London and New York. Someone mentioned Edinburgh. I think, was that Irene? There's a composer in that book from Edinburgh. Just noticed that on back page. Thanks, PJ Wills. Yes, we're going to do that with a. Yeah, we've got someone in a band that's sorting that out for us. Right. Okay, so the music warehouse that you mentioned, I have said where it was based. Can you repeat that? That sounded like Liverpool. Can you say Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, did that say New York? Right, okay. So if you've got an idea about this book, tell me something about yourself. Right, I'm just looking at the subtitles that's on the video. Just said there, let's go. PJ Rolls, yeah. I think I did hear it. Yeah, I think I heard New York. Right, that says there, hurts me. Right, thanks, Leslie. Yeah. So I'm getting an idea. You tell me about yourself, and it's saying darkness hurts me. What is it that hurts? Right, the subtitles there, Pete. So just let's go. Right, PJ. That just said PJ rules, I think. Yeah, you did. I have got it. I'm getting what you're saying. So the thing connected to this book, it wants to just go.
Nice. Through the wind. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Right, would you like to leave this item? What do you want? I'm getting what you're saying. All right. Would you like to leave the book? No. Right, what do you want?
Oh, Schmidt. Boy, do it.
Is your name Philip, or have you got a message for Philip? Right. Have you got a message for Philip? Is your name Philip? Well, I think that says yes than me. Interesting. Right, what do you want? Right, okay. Are you pretending to have a connection to this book? A message for Philly. Right. Okay. So what's your message? And then we're going to leave. He just said leave when, Dream On. Well, we're going to leave this session here. Can you give us a surname? You said Philip. We need a surname. Have you got a surname? You see, I thought I heard something twice there, but weren't in English. Okay then. So we'll be leaving very shortly. You'll have to wait for next time if you want to say something. Have you got a surname and what's your message? Ghosts. Just said. Right. Okay. If you connect to the book, that's where you stay. If you're around, then you leave. You only deal with the positive and the light. But if you are there and you are there again, we understand Philip. We'd like to know a surname and a message. We'll look back at this footage, and this is the second time this has happened. So I'm sure it'll happen again. I'll just give you another 2 minutes if you want to get that message or surname through. Right. Okay. It will turn off. Right then. So that's an interesting one. There were a lot of Philip in that. And I'll do my thing as well, you know, around the book and in this room. Thanks for comments on what you heard, because that's brilliant. And yeah, it did say a lot of interesting things. Oh, my battery's running low. Right, so guys, my battery's running low, so it might cut out. So yeah, interesting session there with the app. It's not available just yet, but it will be shortly. Brian and Samantha and a few others are just, you know, going through it, checking things out. Yep, thanks Brian and Samantha for that. It's brilliant. So we did that quick test, and a lot of Philip came out. Not too sure it's connected to a book. It kept saying it didn't want to leave. And then I thought I'd have to. We always look this back up. It did say something about, do you want to leave the book? It said no. So I asked again what, and then it said life. That's a bit interesting and troubling at the same time. Right, yes, thank you, PJ. Yeah, please send me those. So yeah, I'll look back through this, write it down, and we'll see what we get from it. Thank you, Christian. Is the spirit doing that? We don't know. What we do know is we use various methods. ITC is one of them, and it's led to a lot of things. It's led to new information. Even if it's just led us to looking up new information. When using it, it has led to new information and connections and things like that. It is quite interesting. But yeah, that book, it was supposed to have an attachment to it. I've never been too sure, still not. That session was quite interesting. It said PJ rules. I like that one. I'm sure PJ likes that one. But it also said my brother's name quite a few times. So interesting. Right. So, yeah, that's us up. Small introduction there. We'll be putting up some videos that we've done already using it, and you know, we'll keep using it as we go along and see what comes about. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look into that app. And in the week coming, the studio's got internet connection working now, so we'll do the first of many lives again from there. Thanks to everyone in comments. Yeah, thank you, Chrissy, for that. That's great. Thank you. Thank you, PJ. Thomas, Dawn, Leslie. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mandy Dell. Kaz Kelly. Great to hear from everyone. And if you've liked it, just get a like if you don't mind. It's all good. And we will be, we'll be live again very shortly. And we hope you continue to enjoy your weekend. And your Monday starts your week off well. Thanks, everyone. Talk later.